In the building, baby. Let's go. Tyson Fury, let's talk about it. His record is flimsy. His record is flimsy. He's had 6 fights at world title level before, like, he fought Francis this weekend on a non-title fight, right? 6 fights. Is that what we're talking about now? Is that what it takes to be in the GOAT list? 6 world title fights. The guy's been a pro for 15 years. That's 5 years longer than Anthony Joshua. He's had 34 fights, yeah? Only 6 of them at the world title level. Let's look at these 6 fights, yeah? Firstly, one of them, the first one against Klitschko, you failed the drug test, okay? And you were stripped of your title, you were stripped of your license, you were out the ring for 2 years fighting a court case. And, you covered it up with this whole mental health story, right? You were out sniffing coke and drinking because you had lost everything because you got busted for being a drug cheat. Okay, those are the facts. And so we're now left to 5, right? And so the next fight after that was a draw. Okay. You could argue maybe that you deserved it on the cards, but then you could also argue that you got a 23-second count, when you got knocked down. And so in the last round. And so, yeah, I think a draw was about right, all factors considered. So now we're left with 4 fights. And in these 4 fights at the world title level, you've won them all. Yeah. So you're 4 for 4 in terms of world title fights without, getting busted for taking drugs. Now, these 4 fights were the second fight against Wilder, great performance. Great performance. Probably the best fight I've ever, probably best, most dominant like performance in a world title fight that I've seen live. Okay. And after that, you defended your title for the first time. Keep in mind, Joe Louis has got like 26 title defenses. Yeah. Even Deontay Wilder, he's got 10 title defenses. I think Joshua's got like 7 or 8. Uh, I don't know what premium you put on a unification against a undefeated fighter. But anyway, you made your first defense of the title against Dillian White, who's the mandatory. You know what I mean? He'd been waiting for his shot a long time. Fair enough. But Dillian White came into the ring 1-1 against that Russian bum uh, and Alexander Povetkin. And yeah, he'd been knocked out by Joshua, been knocked out by Povetkin both times with the same shot. You used common sense, knocked him out with the same shot again. Uppercut in the 6th or 7th round. As every time he's been knocked out, it's been the same round, the same punch, right? Whoop-de-doo. Um, and then after that, you fought Derek Chisora in your second title defense. And this is the same Derek Chisora who you've already beaten twice before. And the one that I missed in between was your first defense was actually in the third fight against Wilder, right? And Wilder bounced you up and down 3, 4 times in the fight. It was a war. You came out on top. Tip my hat. Um, you beat a guy that you've already beaten before. And you probably boxed like what is it, 19 rounds against, and you lost a couple of rounds in those 19, and then you went in the third time and went life or death with him, right? So out of the 4 fights that you've won at world level, yeah, clean, 2 of them were against somebody that you've already beaten before, right? You beat Wilder already before, you beat Chisora already before, right? And then you beat Dillian White. Do you know what I mean? So it's an atrocious record. It really, really is a terrible record. And maybe if you weren't on drugs for Klitschko, then you could kind of say, all right, he's got 2 marquee wins. But really, he's got 1 marquee win. Yeah. 1 marquee win. The second fight against Wilder, beat him the third time in a more exciting affair. Tip my hat for those wins. But I'm sorry, Dillian White, you don't get no stripes for that. And Derek Chisora, you don't get no stripes for that. Right? And then you've gone up against Francis Ngannou, who's never had a professional fight before, but is a world champion in MMA, and he beat you, right? He bust you up. See what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So we have to be honest about the fact that Fury's record is absolute dog turd, bro. Dog turd. Yeah. And we have to be honest about the way that the media spins Fury or is complicit with spinning Fury. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he has a PR team that absolutely deserve an award, right? Multiple awards, because especially with the whole drug situation, the way the media just like slurped that up like it was just like Christmas dinner meets like Thanksgiving dinner meets Sunday lunch. They were just absolutely, yeah, with that pass me the Yorkshires, man. Pass me the fucking roast potatoes. Do you know what I mean? Like, pass me the turkey, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, pass me everything, bro. Pass me Fury's ball sack, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely just gargling down everything that they make up, yeah, about our mental health, BS. Yeah. You had mental health because you got busted for cheating, mate, and you couldn't fight. And you had a court case going on with UCAT. Um, and I think like when you compare that to someone like Conor Ben, who I really dislike and I have a high degree of conviction is a drug cheat, and I really wish that you could never make another penny from the sport again. But I just like find it interesting that like when it's when it's Fury, it's like the media turns into imagine like they all right, so check this out. Imagine like you go into a homeless dog shelter, right? And the media are kind of like these loving, like empathetic characters that just like, even if the dog's like misbehaving, it's just like, oh, they must have gone through so much to be like that. Yeah. Like the media becomes this like empathetic, like, fosterers, right? When it comes to a fighter like Fury. But then when it's like an ethnic fighter that gets busted for a drug test, the media turns into the rabid dog. Do you know what I mean? The media's like they want answers, boy. They turn into bloodhounds. Do you know what I mean? There's like, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just be bloodhounds for everyone that gets busted for failing a drug test. Do you know what I mean? So that's my rant on Fury, man. I feel like in terms of his skill level and what we've seen, when he comes into a fight like with a plan and with a strategy, like drugs or not, like he's an elite fighter and he deserves to be compared to the greats because of the dimensions that he has, right? And so when people conflate record versus 1-to-1, you know, like he deserves to be in the conversation because one on one he would give everyone a fight. Yeah, from Holmes, Tyson, Ali, Lewis, like everybody. Yeah, everybody. Frazier, Foreman. Do you know what I mean? Marciano, Fury on his best day would give every one of those guys a fight, but you have to be rational in saying that his record is dog turd, bro. Absolute dog turd. Do you know what I mean? And so if you haven't taken the risks and put it on the line, you cannot have like, I don't think you deserve this level of economic benefit. You don't deserve this level of fan base and media adulation, which fans, the all of the ticket sales and the pay-per-views and the site fees. I really just like I kind of feel like Fury's been a very fortunate beneficiary in his career of a lot of implicit bias, and he hasn't really got the record to back up the level of what I mean, fame, adulation, and monetary reward that he's got out of his career. Especially when you compare it to someone like Wilder, who even if he's fought at a low level, he's still got 10 title defenses. Someone like Joshua, who's even though he's lost a couple times, just look at his wins. Do you know what I mean? All right, he lost a couple of close decisions to Usyk, right? And he had a bad night against Ruiz, which he avenged. But look at his wins. Look how many world title fights he's had. Look how many defenses he's got. Look at the unifications that he's had against undefeated fighters. Joseph Parker, he had beat Ruiz. He had already beaten Carlos Takam. He had marquee wins on his title record before he stepped in with AJ. So, yeah, that's my rant on Fury. I'm going to leave it there. Peace.